Hi, this is Dave Marshall for Art of the Comic Book, and this is how to draw a 10 by 15 inch art area on 14 by 17 Bristol. First, you need a piece of paper. Secondly, you need a ruler, pencil, and some squaring tools. So, if your paper is 14 inches wide, and your art area is 10 inches wide, that comes up with a difference of 4 inches. My personal preference is to split the middle and put 2 inches of margin between the art and the paper on each side. So, my first tick mark is 2 inches from the left. Second one is 2 inches from the right. Secondly, turn the paper over. You don't have to, but it's easier for me. And since your paper is 17 inches tall and you only need 15 inches of art, that is a 2-inch differential. And again, I split that in the middle. So I measure from the top 1 inch and from the bottom 1 inch. And I recommend this over getting the pre-printed boards because they're expensive. The standards change from publisher to publisher, and it's generally inconsistent. So because I have a drafting table, I'm able to use something called a main line instead of a T-square. So it runs parallel to the drafting board like so. So if you don't have one of these snazzy devices, well, just use a T-square. That will be just fine. So I'm using a darker pencil than I normally do for the purposes of video. So I see my tick mark on the bottom. That's art boundary 1. Same thing for the top. Now I only have to do the sides. Ouch. Sorry about that. Hope you're okay. So I take my take my triangle, put it on my main line, or your T-square, whichever you have, and then I find my right border, and just draw there, and extend, and do the same thing with the left. I find my left tick mark, go to the top, drag down, bring my main line down, and there you go. And to measure, just to make sure, because if you're doing like 3 of these a day, 10 of these a day, human error can mess you up. So what I like to do is measure just for the sake of measuring, or just for peace of mind. So normal ruler, measure from left to right, and that is 10 inches. Same thing on the side, and I don't normally rotate, but I'll do it just for the purposes of video. And top, bottom is 15 inches. So if I weren't talking and doing this at the same time, this whole maneuver would take less than a minute. You guys, it might take a little slower, but you'll get there. And the virtue of this is that you get to pick your own grade of paper. Some artists like it, like rough textured paper, others like smooth. Some prefer like the higher grade Strathmore, like the 500 series. Others can get by with the 4 or the 3 or some other brand. But anyway, the transferable logic is that this is how you render a 10 by 15 inch art area on a 14 by 17 inch piece of paper. Thank you much.